Ciao Juventini of the world, my name is Giuseppe, welcome back on the channel. The day after Juventus won Paris Saint-Germain 2, the game of yesterday was also the last game in the edition 22-23 of Champions League for Juventus. We are eliminated and the mathematically is saying that we are in the competition called Europa League. It is a fact, we will have to accept it sooner or later. We are in Europa League. While recording that video, I have to admit that I have really strong feelings because yes, it is a fact, we go to Europa League, not because we deserve to go to Europa League, but because of the loss of Maccabi Haifa yesterday versus Benfica. Mixed feelings because we can't celebrate a loss. Yesterday 2-1, not for Juventus, for Paris Saint-Germain in our home. We can't be happy. We can't just accept to be happy that we lost 2-1 because we saw some beautiful things. Absolutely not. If you are supporting Juventus, you just can't accept to have 3 points on 18 in Champions League, finishing third because of Maccabi Haifa that you lost against in their home. No, you can't, and that will never be allowed. If you are supporting Juventus, there is only one thing that you want to do in a day after video. It means celebrating the win and speaking about the things that were not okay in that win so that you are actually improving and starting to try for perfection. We are really far from perfection. This is something that is a fact. Yesterday, on the other side, we are looking at the mixed feeling, the positive mixed feeling, the other side of the coin. What are they? Well, Federico Chiesa coming back on the field, surprising everyone. First, to be in that squad list, then entering the field, and also the minutes that he played, because in total he played 20 minutes yesterday. A big surprise for everyone. The name Federico, if you are putting the small name, it's Fede. What does that mean, Fede? For the people that do not know, it means hope in Italian. Hope for a brighter future. Hope to see the light at the end of the tunnel. Yesterday, the stand, the supporters, the sold-out Allianz Stadium was screaming his name, was applauding, a standing ovation. Finally, after nearly 300 days, we saw Federico Chiesa back and we needed him. We all needed. And these are the beautiful things that we saw yesterday, together with also some performances, individual performances, like the one of Nicolo Fagioli for the second game as a starter, showing that he was perfect yesterday in that midfield, showing that he deserved probably to be a starter in the future of Juventus, future that is already Sunday versus Inter. Without Weston McKennie, Nicolo Fagioli showed that he's a starter of Juventus. These are the bright spots. Now, are we celebrating a beautiful performance of Juventus yesterday? No, we didn't perform really extraordinary well. We deserve to be out of Champions League. We deserve maybe to be in Europa League, but I'm not even sure. With only 1 win on 6, I don't know if you deserve to be there. We did really bad, and yesterday the game versus Paris Saint-Germain showed the difficulties that we have with an aging team that was not able to contain Mbappe with nutmegging Federico Gatti, but also the velocity of that young player Nuno Mendes that entered and actually burned Juan Cuadrado. It was actually showing and exposing the Juventus difficulty. Also, Juventus with a lot of shot on goals but not able to go on target. A lot of difficulties yesterday for Juventus, but we are celebrating, if we can use that word that I really don't like if we lose. But what are we seeing positive in the game of yesterday? A Juventus that tried for 90 minutes, more than the 20 beautiful minutes versus Benfica, more than some parts of the game versus some teams. We tried for 90 minutes and we showed that we are still here, that we still believe that there are still some hope, like Federico Chiesa. Is it a consolation of the game of yesterday? Well, not really. The consolation is to go to Europa League and continue to play in Europe versus teams like Manchester United, Ajax, or other teams that are quite big names. We are speaking about Roma and so on and so on. Arsenal. That's the consolation, that we will still continue in Europa League. How long? I don't know, because the group stages are finishing, so it will be in or out games. Let's see if Juventus will be able to reach that final. This is one of the new objectives of Juventus. You participate in a competition even if you didn't want to, because you wanted to stay in Champions League. You participate in Europa League. You try your best. You try your best with a Federico Federico Chiesa. One thing is sure, we have the right to be angry. Like Massimiliano Allegri said yesterday, he said, I don't want to be a team that is offering some good performances but losing. As fast as possible, we have to change things and go back to victory. Victory, but also playing well. This is what I want to add, because the people of Juve of yesterday, they said, we lost and we are not happy. We are angry that we lost and probably we don't deserve to go in Champions League. But yesterday at least we saw some things. We saw an improvement. We didn't see the performance of Monza, of Salernitana, of Fiorentina, of Benfica. And this is a start. Now we learn that we are also able to play and we have to become better because we are far from perfect. But starting with the basis, starting with the beautiful things that we saw yesterday, with a few beautiful things that we saw yesterday. Because now, Juventus, it's a total different story that starts. It's the run towards the top 4 in Serie A, but also the run in Europa League. Chiesa came back after 297 days. Let's live again the moments of Federico Chiesa yesterday in the Allianz Stadium. First, he came and he was already applauded by everyone when we saw his face in the Allianz Stadium. Then, during the warm-up, with a really beautiful smile, then Federico Chiesa at the minute 74, subbing out and subbing in instead of Fabio Miretti, and finally touching his balls. At a certain moment he was also nearly close to score a goal. What a beautiful Federico Chiesa. Speaking about champions, we already spoke about that crazy goal of Kylian Mbappe, but after the game they gave themselves a big hug, they changed their shirt, and it's something that is actually it's football. It's beautiful football, and I was really happy because, guys, we can say whatever we want, but how much did we miss a champion like Federico Chiesa? And Kylian Mbappe hugging Federico Chiesa is something that is witnessing the greatness of Federico. Allegri said yesterday, and I said yesterday, okay, a good performance, but we must be angry. And we have to continue to be really angry for the remaining part of the season. Every time that we are playing Europa League, every time that we are playing Serie A, we have to remember that we did really bad in Champions League, because we have to become better. It has to be a start. The start that the 3 consecutive wins in Serie A, but also the start of yesterday kind of performance. What about the team? The team that yesterday played, we saw some beautiful individual performance like the one of Nicolo Fagioli, 7.5 in Tuttosport. Locatelli that came back, and finally we saw a great performance of Manuel with a 7 rating. Quadrado that is not anymore the player that we knew 2 seasons ago, but at least a decent good performance of Quadrado with a 6.5. Bonucci with a beautiful goal received a 7. We have also to insist in playing the style that we are playing, because we continue to give trust to the 3-5-2. Even if yesterday it was a kind of 3-5-1-1, we have to continue, because Alexander is also playing quite well in that 3-man defense. We saw it clearly yesterday. We continued. The thing that I didn't like yesterday, it was that we played so many times on the left side of the field. 50% of the time we went to Kostic. Kostic that a lot of people said he was the worst of the game. I don't agree with that. Yesterday Kostic, he sacrificed himself a lot for the team, playing versus Hakimi. Hakimi that was a ghost yesterday, also thanks to the defensive performance of Filip Kostic. The problem, what we are all judging, it also that he went nearly 20 times on cross, and only 3 or 4 times the crosses were inside the box. This is something that he has to do better, but I understand the difficulties of going up and down all the game, and probably he was missing a bit of accuracy in front of the game. But the problem is also that we played 50% of the time on the left side of the field. So instead of mixing left and right to give a bit of rest during the game to Filip Kostic, we went too much to him, and that can cause a problem. We also see it with 69 times the total passes he did after touching 92 balls. He touched 92 balls, and not a lot of them were precise. Only 84% were precise. 69% total pass accuracy in final third. The one that touched the most balls, we know it, it's Alexander, because he played also on the left, followed by Adrien Rabiot with 81. So we see that we used a lot of time that left part of the field, which could create a problem for Juventus, because we were missing a bit of alternatives. We see the one thing that improved yesterday was the fact that Juventus yesterday, for the first time, went above the 90% pass accuracy, and we know it. If yesterday we can say that we played better than certain games of season 22-23, it's because we improved our pass accuracy, not only in our total game, but also in the final third with 83. We are still far from the 90% of Paris Saint-Germain, so we have to improve that, but especially also improving the shots on target. Only 13% of our shots or our attempts went on target. If you're looking at Paris Saint-Germain with 71, that's what made the difference yesterday, and that's a big pity. What about Inter? Because we are playing with Inter, I give you already the good news. The good news are that Vlahovic will be back, Di Maria will be back, Bremer will be back. So yesterday during the live, we were thinking about the possible lineup versus Inter, and we continue with that 3-5-2. With Szczesny into the goal, Alexander Bremer that will be back, and Danilo with a rest turn for Bonucci, and then we have Kostic on the left with Quadrado on the right side, Rabiot, Locatelli and Fagioli in the middle. Who do we have up front? Vlahovic that will be back together with Milik, with Di Maria on the bench, with Miretti and Soulé ready to enter in that second half. A game that is a must win. We have to continue with the beautiful result in Serie A from the last 3 games, but combining them with a performance and with hope, with Fede for the game versus Inter. Then I finish with a few rush news. Zakaria yesterday played with Chelsea his first game. He scored also, he gave the winning goal to Chelsea yesterday versus Dinamo Zagreb. Well, why am I speaking about it? Because that means that Zakaria will not come back in January, and he will stay until the end of the year to Chelsea. Why? Because he already played in 2 different teams this season, to Juventus and to Chelsea, officially on the field. So that means that he is obliged now to remain there. Good, because that could have been a problem. What is Corriere dello Sport saying? They are speaking about Milan that yesterday won 4-0. Juve knockout, but Europe is safe because we are going to Europa League. Gazzetta dello Sport is saying about the Paradise Milan because they won 4-0. And the 3 teams, Napoli, Inter and Milan, they are going to the knockout stages. Round of 16. What about Juve? Well, Juve is going to the Europa League hell. And then we see the hug of Federico Chiesa with Kylian Mbappe. This was it for me for the video where we spoke about Federico. Guys, I don't know what to think. I still have the mixed feelings. Not happy about the loss, not happy about the elimination. I am still not 100% convinced about a Juventus that is able to go all in Europa League, that is able to reach the top 4. But at least yesterday, at a certain moment, I had goosebumps when Federico Chiesa, that you see here, he entered the field. He gave me goosebumps and a bit of hope. Fede. Guys, maximum of likes, subscribe to the video, let me know your feeling. I am curious to read your mixed feeling. Grazie, forza, Juve.